teach people the basics of improv.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to the Virtual Reality Show Studio. Tonight we have an amazing comedy event, and you guys are in for a real treat. We are going to be featuring the FailedToRender Comedy Club, which is this amazing comedy club that's put on really cool stuff in different platforms, like Altspace, but they've been hosting amazing events in VRChat, so it's going to be really fun to feature them. And this is also an event in conjunction with Projekt Community. Projekt Community has a bunch of events going on this weekend, so definitely look forward to all of that. And of course, thank you so much to VRChat Kmart for helping sponsor this event and providing our talent. Before I call some people on stage to give some introductions, I do want to give the simple reminders is I highly encourage you turn off nameplates as well as UI sounds so that you don't hear people's photography when they have their drone cameras going on. It'll make your experience a little more immersive. As far as microphones go, this is a comedy event, so you are encouraged to be loud and laugh. The louder you laugh, the funnier the performers get. But at the same time, please be as respectful as possible during the performances, which means no chit chatter over other people and distractions. If this means muting yourself and your microphone, then please feel free to do so. But without further ado, I would love to get started by bringing out Niho, who is our representative for Projekt Community, to give an introduction. So Niho, if you'll come up, I would love to have you.
Hi, hello, thanks for having me. Glad to be here doing this with you. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I've been looking forward to this event. But yeah, Projekt Community, it's a group that focuses on highlighting other communities around VRChat. Right now we have our community festival going on. So we've got a whole world. It's called Projekt Festival 2023. You can look it up. We've got some group public instances you can join where we've got booths everywhere for different communities, just showing them off, people manning them, talking about their communities, everything. We've also got events all weekend. You can see that in our Discord. We're posting them on our Twitter as well as our VRChat group if you want to join that. I'm repping it right now if you'd like to join there, get in all the instances. But yeah, it's really fun, really cool to be here. Thanks for coming here and having an event at our festival. But yeah, cool. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Niho. We'll give it up for the Projekt Community team. They've done a really amazing job so far this weekend, and it's a real honor to be able to be a part of it. So definitely go check them out if you're interested in doing some more fun events this weekend and help support the VRChat community. Lots of fun stuff going on. So with that out of the way, I would love to go ahead and introduce our host of the FailedToRender Comedy Club, none other than Kyle Render himself. Kyle, please come up. Everybody give it up for Kyle Render while we get started. Please feel free to introduce yourself and let the show begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to PHIA tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up to the virtual reality show. Make some noise. Make some noise.
Thank you, PHIA.
Left side of the theater, make some noise over here. Left side of the theater, make some noise over here. In the middle, make some noise down the middle. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Kyle Render. I started the FailedToRender comedy show back during the pandemic in March of 2020. It was a really sad time. Everyone's communities got shut down in the real world, and I was a struggling comedian already, so I decided to struggle inside of virtual reality, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for me and my friends. Yeah, during the pandemic, you know, my business partner was still out there. During the pandemic, he was still out there doing real-life comedy. And I was like, man, Big Al, what do you have to do to go out there during a pandemic to do real-life comedy? And he's like, well, you got to get your 3 vaccines, you got to wear your 2 masks, and you got to get your mic condoms. was like, Mike condoms? Where do I buy Mike condoms? He's like, I got some, bro. You want some? I'm like, I don't know. How many do I need? He says, well, how dirty are your jokes, bro? Yeah. So I stayed in VR, ladies and gentlemen. I stayed in VR. I do this very fun game whenever I meet people. On the count of 3, I want everyone to just scream out your age. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. I'm in my late 30s, so whenever I come into VR, I always go towards the older avatars. Right? We started in alt space. We had an older community in there. Same with Horizon Worlds a little bit. And I go towards avatars that have gray hair, or they're bald, or they got big beards. The other day I did that, and I was like, hey, what's up? My name's Kyle. Nice to meet you. What's your name? And they said, I'm Tommy. I'm 12 years old. This is my mommy's account. I'm like, listen, like, no, don't bring your kids into your headsets, okay? That's what Rec Room is for. Don't bring them into VRChat, okay? Put them in Rec Room, all right? Oh, man, I didn't know that was a thing in VRChat. People are like that. Okay, that's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, really quick, do we have any parents in the audience? Make some noise for the parents.
Yeah.
Round of applause for Dex Wise Bottom falling forward in the middle there. We got one parent in the audience, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up to Dex. What a good dad. His kids are awake right now in the other room, and he's at a comedy show. I applaud you, Dex. I love you. Hit me up. All right. I'm a dad. I got a 10-year-old daughter. She's my life, dude. I love her to death. Every time I do these comedy shows, 3 years later, she always says the same thing. She says, Daddy, is it comedy night again? And I say, you bet, baby. And I give her a gallon of ice cream with just a little bit of Benadryl mixed in, and we're here. It gets a little pinker every year, you know? It gets a little more pink. It's almost bubblegum completely now. I think she's fallen for it. Recently, I went to a high school reunion. It wasn't mine. But my friend begged me to go to his. And of course, it turned into a wild night where I met a girl. We went home, had a good time. Woke up the next day, and she said, hey, Kyle, what classes did we take together at school? And I said, classes at school? I was homeschooled. Wasn't my high school reunion. She got very angry at me. She got very angry. She said, I slept with a homeschooler? So I never saw her again. But my mom gave me a gold star for socializing. Woo! Yeah. Oh, man. Has anyone ever heard of this new fancy word? It's called frogging. And no, not like licking a toad. It's like spelled with a PH, like PHIA. It's spelled frogging, okay? now, let me tell you what this is, okay? There's going to be a brand new Lifetime TV series about frogging. You know what it stands for? It means somebody that lives inside of your house for over a year without you knowing that they live there. What? That's nuts. You thought hoarders was bad. You got people living inside the walls now. Like, what? Right? So, the only thing I could really think was, like, thank God there's finally a TV show about millennials living with their parents in their 30s. I mean, come on. Before I was a comedian, I used to be a therapist. I didn't have a license, though. They call it tech support. Yeah. I remember fixing this lady's printer remotely, and I'm really great at customer service, so I did the fancy, anything else I can help you out with today, ma'am? And she said, actually, yes. And then she started typing and typing and typing and typing. I just see the bubble. I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? And she told me everything. She said, I got stuck in an airport And then I got drunk at the Pizza Hut bar. And then I made out with a random guy. I finally got on the airplane back home, but I threw up in the airplane. And then my parents picked me up and I had throw up all over me in front of my son. Wow. I'm reading this in a chat box and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe Pizza Huts have bars. That's awesome. Send. How about next time you fill the printer with paper before you drink the booze? Okay, ma'am, have a great day. Leave me alone. Oh my God. I remember during the pandemic, we created a system. It's an app called Citizen. And what it is this kind of like police your own system because they were trying to defund the police. So they said, oh, people can police themselves. So I downloaded the app and the first thing I did was I was like, oh my God, 2 hobos fighting in the Dollar General parking lot, send help. And I sent a picture, right? And then I went back into the app and you know what I saw? I saw a naked woman slinging poo onto cars on highway. And I was like, I can't beat that.
Oh no.
So naturally, I go into the post and I'm like, wow, I hope somebody called the police. Number 1 comment on Citizen, I swear to God. Can't make it up. I live in Austin, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up to Texas real quick, the new comedy capital of America. Give it up to Austin. Yeah. Thank you. Yeehaw. Thank you. We just had South by Southwest. It's a big tech music event. And I went to a really cool party. I grabbed a beer and I headed to the restroom. But because it was South by Southwest, everyone's trying to sell you something. So I got stopped by a girl on the way to the bathroom and she said, sir, have you tried our brand new toilets? And I was like, what? Tried your brand new toilets? No. And she's like, oh, well, this is a toilet party. I was like, what? What are you talking about? She says, yeah, so we take everybody's DNA and then we put it on a big TV screen to tell everybody around you what's wrong with you. I'm like, what kind of place is this? This is insane. I just wanted a free beer, you know? And I'm like, okay, I guess I just have to really go. So I went in. I did my business. I walk out. I look at the TV screen. The lady's like, don't you want to know what's wrong with you? And I said, no, I'm leaving. I have an ex-wife for that. Thank you very much. Speaking of technology, man, I just got these brand new AirPod Pros. The noise canceling is next level. They changed my life. Dude, so I put them on for the first time, then I have to go to the restroom, and then I flush the toilet, and I walk out, and I'm like, oh, I didn't flush the toilet, and then I go in there, and I flush the toilet, and then I leave the bathroom, and I'm like, did I flush the toilet? And I flush the toilet, because I can't hear the toilet flushing in the noise canceling. It's amazing. I forgot I kept flushing the toilet like 3 times in a row. That's next level stuff, man. That Apple headset's going to just take people out of reality. I swear to God. Oh my God. Man, like I said, I got a 10-year-old daughter. We've been watching a lot of Netflix recently to pass the time, and we've been watching this new show. It's called Baconeers. And you would think that it was about bacon, but no, sir. It's about baking and engineers. Very disappointing.
Oh.
Yeah, one episode they were making clothing out of fruit leather and they were having a fashion show. So I see this smoking hot redhead go down covered in fruit by the foot and my daughter's like, ew! Dad, could you imagine eating all of that fruit by the foot off of that girl? That's so disgusting. Dad? Yeah, you gotta go to bed, okay? You gotta go to bed. Get out of here. I recently took her to Six Flags. We rode a roller coaster, and after the roller coaster was over, me and my daughter heard something behind us we've never heard before. There was a guy. He was so excited. He said, "Woo! My basement is flooded." And I was like, "What?" So my daughter has the balls to turn around and look at them and say, "What does that mean?" And the little kid says, "Oh, sometimes my dad pees his pants on roller coasters, so we say that." It's absolutely crazy, man. Y'all are crazy. Oh, man. We got Kmart in the house tonight, but real quick, we're going to talk about our favorite Walmart. Walmart is so cutting edge that they're using all of those Oculus Go's that no one ever used, and they're giving them to employees to learn how to provide customer service and stock the shelves with an Oculus Go at Walmart. Not making this up. So imagine your first 40 weeks at Walmart in the back room, in the break room, and you're just like stocking shelves in your Oculus Go, and your head's about to explode because it's 100 degrees, right? And then you're finally out of training. Oh my God, I don't have to wear that thing anymore. And 2 weeks later, you're stocking the shelves with just one hand, and all the other employees are like, "What the hell are you doing? Stock the shelves with both hands." "Oh, well, I only learned how to do it with this one." Oculus Go is the worst. And then imagine he's trying to provide customer service, right? A grandma comes over. "Where are the diapers? Ma'am, I think you're lagging. It's hot in here. Do you feel that?" Oculus Go was a miss. Oh, man. I got a new Google phone, and artificial intelligence is obviously crazy. We all know that at this point. But I took a picture of my family, and sometimes it can take like rarities out, like weird things in the background, and it erased my grandma. Hey, wait, that's not funny. She has Alzheimer's. What if she doesn't remember she's in that picture? You're all terrible people, okay? Now I'm just going to run all my old photos of my ex-wife and just remove her from all the photos. I love AI. It's amazing. Amazing. We now live in a society where our only social skills come from video games like VRChat, like Among Us. If you don't know what that is, you're probably too old to be here. All right. My daughter and I were at the park yesterday, and this little girl comes up to her, and she says, "Do you want to play with us?" I was like, "Yeah, go play with that kid, She says, "Dad, how do I know she's not the imposter?"
Oh my God.
We're all so disconnected as a society, ladies and gentlemen. We are. I went to a gas station just the other day. This really happened. I put down my Legend of Zelda wallet, and the attendant loved it. He was like, "Hey, man, I love that wallet." I was like, "Oh, cool, man. Do you have a Switch?" He's like, "Yeah, I got a Switch." I'm like, "Oh, cool. I've been playing Animal Crossing. You want my friend code?" And then he pulled out his pocket knife. He's like, "This is my Switch, bro. My inmate number 5157. I was like, "Whoa." I just wanted to play Nintendo, bro. I'm not trying to get in no gang war, okay? Calm down. Man, I can't wait to play the new Mortal Kombat. I think my favorite part about the new Mortal Kombat is they just decided to tear the past 30 years apart. And they said, no. Everything before today never happened. This is Mortal Kombat 1, baby. Number 1. So now for the rest of forever, every time I get on stage, I'm going to be like, "All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my first joke ever." And here it goes. I've been dating again. All right. I've been dating again. I got a few apps on my phone. I got Tinder. I got plenty of fish. And then just for fun, I got Pokemon Go. Well, after a few weeks went by, I caught a Snorlax, but it was actually on Plenty of Fish. So I deleted those apps and I kept Pokemon Go. And then guess what happened? I was at the park and I met a girl playing Pokemon. Hell yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we were both looking for a Charmander, you know what I'm saying? She had really nice Jigglypuff, so I showed her my Weedle. Yeah, I know. I invited her back to my place. I did make her Venusaur. And yes, before someone steals the other punchline, she did Squirtle all over. I know. And then the next day, when we woke up, she was like, Kyle, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think I gave you that rat-a-tat. I was like, oh, no. I was like, what's that? And she said, chlamydia. Ugh. But oh well, you gotta catch them all, right, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you. That is my time. Thank you for having us here at the FailedToRender Comedy Club, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your feature act. Give it up to PHIA again. Give it up to Gabe. Give it up to the whole staff for putting this together. Amazing, beautiful venue. Also, we have a sponsor in the house tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get a quick word from our sponsors before your headliner. Please make it loud for Eric and Pablo, ladies and gentlemen, from the Kmart.
Those are my favorite sponsors.
I love Kmart.
All right.
What's up, everybody?
Kmart.
Whoa.
Hello.
So, man,
Man,
you start.
I don't know how I can compare that, dude. That was too good. We're just store employees, man.
Yeah. Normally our
Jeez
activities
Louise.
just, include, just seeing customers come to our store, dealing with the occasional brush once in a while. Yeah, I mean, you guys know how those are, right? It's not entirely fun, but you know what? That's a part of the VRChat Kmart experience. But if you can get to that,
we've been doing this for 4 years.
That is true. You wanna tell everyone how how this all started? Just
Oh yeah,
brief
so
thing?
little history lesson of Kmart. So we're not like part of the real stores. So let's start back from the beginning. So I used to actually work at a real Kmart. That's kind of how this all started. If you've been playing this game forever, you probably remember the original store called just VRChat Kmart. That's our main store, and that's the store that I worked at. That was where I made all my memories. I had my work family there. I dealt with Karens, hundreds of Black Fridays, and
Yeah.
I tell you, man, working in retail, it's got
Black Fridays.
Yeah, it's got its ups and downs, man. I mean, if you work in retail out here in the audience, stay strong. We're working through it. But
Yeah.
look, it's not that bad though. Working at Kmart was something special because compared to working at like Target, Walmart, we're a smaller place, so it felt more like a work family, and not in that weird corporate shill kind of way. Like it actually felt like a family. There was only like 40 of us that worked there, and we ran the whole place. So I wanted to bring it back in a way that people, both shoppers and workers alike, could relive those memories, both, good ones and the PTSD-inducing ones. But we brought it back, and we brought it back in VR, and, since 2019, It's just been getting better and better and better, and now we have 4 stores, a distribution center. It's insane.
Yeah, that's right. And on
of
top
course,
of
the
that,
community.
a new generation can now see what Kmart stores actually look like during their peak.
Dude, you know how weird it is to me that there are some kids that have never stepped foot in a Kmart? Like, it makes me feel so old. I worked at one, and I'm only 22. Like, damn.
Yeah, dude, I'm 24. Like, when I went there, my mom would just take me, and what I would usually do is I would just go to the internet cafe. Like, my store had the internet cafe, right? And I would go on the computer, right? And I would just, go on I would just play Roblox on there because I didn't know what else to do. I don't know how those computers managed to run it, but it did.
The fact that,
enjoyed it.
we had Dell Dimensions at the cafe, so I don't know how you managed to get Roblox on there, but damn.
I tried to run that game on my compact computer, those budgety ones that just slow. I don't know how I did it. Yeah, I think it ran at 5 frames per second. Right? Shout out to 5 frames per second.
If you're getting more than 5 frames in here, good job. With 80 people in here, it's impressive.
I heard 24. I think I've ever
That's
seen.
already good.
17.
Yeah, there you go. How many do I got? I got 30. Okay, I'm lucky.
30.
So one of the cool things about Kmart is now that like we've been featured in news articles and stuff, we've probably become bigger than actual Kmart. 'Cause I don't know when the last time you heard news about the real Kmart stores was, but we've been in Forbes, Wired, all these like real world news companies talking about VR and Kmart. And it actually got the attention of the real Kmart. So we now actually work with Kmart Corporate, and you can go to the VR Kmart stores and buy Kmart products. They'll be shipped from a real Kmart store straight to your door. Believe it or
The
not,
only
there
thing
are
is you
6
can't buy
stores
PS2s
left.
Whoa.
Okay, yeah, so we do have a lot. Okay, so funny thing is we have products that are both real and not real. So like we'll have PS2s on the shelf, but obviously they're not making new PS2s anymore. But you can buy a brand new
wish.
Craftsman 8-piece wrench set for $20 and have it shipped to your door.
Yep. You know, I gotta say though, like Kmart's fate, you know, it's not too bad because even though the real stores, you know, they're not doing so hot, you know, we got VRChat Kmart, right? But you know, how about other places like, I don't know, Bed Bath & Beyond? Like, I mean, how are they
God.
doing, right?
Well, at least we only went bankrupt twice.
You know what? I will say though, I feel like they're, you know, the name of the, you know, the store. I feel like it's kind of like a prophecy, right? Because at first they started, you know, selling beds and baths, and now they finally have gone beyond.
They're going to the great
Thank you.
beyond.
Yeah. Thank you for your service, Bed Bath & Beyond.
Fun fact
You know, we'll
is
take over from here.
Exactly. Well, no VR Bed Bath & Beyonds. That's gonna be way too hard to do.
No, just come to Kmart.
Come to Kmart,
We
man.
got all that stuff anyway.
So fun fact is when my store closed, I got a bunch of the fixtures, and like most people think so. Like with Bed Bath & Beyond closing, you can go out there and like buy like the shelves or the cash registers and stuff. So when my Kmart closed, we had the same thing. We had a liquidator that was selling off all our fixtures. Well, you know what? I just decided to take some stuff home. What are they gonna do? Stop me? We're closing. It's the
what are they gonna
merchandise
do
we're
with it,
trying
right?
to sell. The fixtures, you know, they're going in the trash. So, full body.
Full body. Technology is perfect, guys.
But anyways, this cash register. So the funny thing is, when they closed, I got the cash register from the store. Not only did I get the cash register, but I got this little scan gun and half of our security camera system, all for free. So if you go to your local Bed Bath & Beyond, you know, you go to your local Bed Bath & Beyond, maybe you can pick yourself up a computer or, you know, an old style cash register that when you go over here and you power it on, you hear it boot up like this. And it does its own little thing, and it works just like how it did when it left the store. I don't hear any of you saying you got a cash register at home. I think I've been playing this game for a little too long.
Yeah, maybe. You know, speaking of the security cameras, you know, if they wanted to check what he was doing, I mean, what are they gonna do? Check the security cameras? Good luck with that.
I can check the camera for you. It's at my house now.
There you go. You can check the cameras. They can't.
No, I'm not letting them over. But yeah, so that's our little bit. We do the VRChat Kmart. You know, if you want to get some real stuff from the real Kmarts, you can stop by. You know, buy some real stuff. And if you're feeling nostalgic, you know, we got everything from the 90s and 2000s too. So, you know, it's been a long ride, and it feels crazy to be here. I'm just gonna say, I never expected Kmart to be sponsoring comedy shows and going this whole 9 yards, going to conventions. We're at Projekt Community. We'll be at VCAT. It's insane.
I gotta say, I never expected
we're
to be
doing-
an
would be
audience
going
watching
there.
a comedy show.
We're doing stuff at the virtual reality
It's like a
show. I
Walmart,
mean, my
but
gosh,
older.
dude.
Oh, and here's the best part. When Kmart Corporate
I never
really didn't
thought I'd be
understand any of
watching,
this
like, a
when I
stand-up
actually had to
comedy show,
explain
and
this
the
to them.
sponsor was
They
VRChat
took me
Kmart.
out to their headquarters in Chicago, and I
here
had
we
to
are.
explain to 50 and 60-year-olds what VRChat is, and what we do here, and how you put on a headset and you're transported to a different world.
And they looked at me like I was the second coming of Christ for Kmart. We're saving Kmart with virtual reality! And they're looking at me like, what are you insane? The fuck's a VR headset?
We just want to make money here. Like, can you just like get to the point, you know? Or sorry,
Making money?
Get to the point, please.
Listen here, my avatar's medium performance, but I am damn well poor. That's what being in college gets you.
Real life rating.
My real life rating is very poor.
You know what though? I gotta say though, you know, for the people at Transfronto, you know, if they want to learn more about VR, you know, they can just watch the virtual reality shows videos. You know?
Oh
Learn a thing
yeah,
or
they
two
can
about
watch the
VR
VOD.
chat. Yeah, no, I'm saying their channel, their YouTube channel.
Oh, of course.
Duh, come on, man. Come on here, you gotta get some funnies. You gotta pull it out of your shopping bag, you know?
I left it at home.
Oh, thanks, Eric. Now what do we do?
Well, don't worry. I'll ring up some new funnies on the cash register.
That's gonna take forever.
Are you out of
Well, it's an IBM. What do you expect? We're using cash registers from 30 years
You're
ago.
right.
If you go to one of the current Kmarts, they're still using 30-year-old IBM cash registers in 2023.
Ew.
Oh my god.
Sears too. They're all the same.
Good luck, good luck running VRChat on that.
It can run Minecraft. I did confirm that. It can run Minecraft.
Fun Minecraft.
Okay, there you go. It can run Minecraft. It can't run VRChat.
And it can run Doom!
Apparently
Give it
30-year-old
up for running
IBM
Doom on everything! Doom on the Kmart cash register.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, you can play it on anything these days, so even McDonald's, you know, kiosk things.
You can run it on a pregnancy test. You can run Doom on
run
everything.
Doom.
I could probably get it to run on this too.
They said, yeah, it can run.
I'll give it a shot. If someone can help me program this, I would
Not
get
the
Doom
new
to run on the
3D one,
scanner.
probably.
All right. Well, I think we've babbled
Is that our
on
time?
long enough, so let's get on out of here.
All right. Well, thank you for shopping our
Thank you,
Kmart,
Kyle.
and we hope to see you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the VRChat Kmart, ladies and gentlemen. Break some controllers tonight for them. Or clap your real hands if you got your wrist straps on, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up to the Kmart. I gotta say, without the Kmart, we wouldn't have had an awesome welcome in here like this. The Kmart's really helped FailedToRender move from alt space over here. And we really appreciate them. Thank you so much, Kmart.
We love you, Kyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's just get down to it. Are you ready for your headliner or what?
No, I'm good.
One more time, I want you to wake up your dogs, wake up your significant others. Are you ready for a show?
Wake up my neighbors.
You gotta wake up those neighbors, ladies and gentlemen, and give it up to Resnauv!
Hello. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Resnauv. I make up songs on the spot out of words and sound. Yeah, that's right. All the sound comes from my mouth, and they turn into words and sounds. Give it up for sounds. I love sound. Oh, but yeah. Anyway, okay. All right. Real talk. Okay, so yeah, I make up stuff on the spot. All the sound that you hear is gonna be made up on the spot, improvised, and it's gonna be all made out of my voice. And we'll get like a couple words from the audience. Kyle will run out there, grab a couple words, tell me what they are, and I will try my best to make it sound good. I can't guarantee it's gonna be a good song, but I hope you have fun anyway. Hearing the words you throw at me get turned into some weird stuff. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh yeah, improv.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Decay. Give me a word, Decay. Any word.
This right here.
Worcestershire.
I love it. All right. Mystic Moo, what you got?
I better actually this time I better write it.
You're lying. Question.
All right. Oh, you got hippopotamus. All right, we got the word right. Hippopotamus. We got one more coming in.
Hey, I think I did a
One more
song
coming
about a
in.
hippopotamus recently.
You did it.
Ocean Dragon.
Saturday.
Yeah, hippo laundry.
Word brutal. Brutal.
Washing machine.
Brutal.
You get that brutal. Yeah.
Oh, he's got this.
Okay.
Ooh,
All right.
I got a word.
So,
I got a word.
I do not envy this gentleman.
we've got brutal, hippopotamus, and Worcestershire sauce. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up to
Okay.
Resnauv!
You got it.
Hey, you can't see my face when I'm in
I can't even say that word on a good day.
Okay.
You can do
Thank you
it.
for ever told me that I can do it. Because I definitely can't. Okay, here we go.
Wrong. Bars.
I'm going to the place down the street. Gonna get me something to eat. There's a guy who's working, he's really big. I mean, no, really, he's big as hell. And I went up there and I said, can you give me a burger and some fries? He said, that'll be $5.50. I gave him the money, he put it on my plate. I said, can I add the sauce? He said, no, that's too late. He was brutal, wouldn't let me get the sauce that I wanna put on it. Oh, he was brutal, he wouldn't let me douse my burger in all of that delicious stuff. And turned out I was in a land where everyone's an animal, not a man. And he reached out to me with his big hippo hand, and then he slapped me across the face. Damn. I said, well, anyway, could you do me something fire? Could you hand me sauce? I'd like to get the Worcestershire. He taxed another fee and he charged me, and I got so upset that he emptied up my wallet. Now I'm dealing with a brutal hippo. Won't give me a break. Oh, he's a brutal hippo. He won't give me a break. Oh, he's a brutal hippo. They won't give me a break. Oh, he's a brutal hippo. They won't give me a break. Oh, he's a brutal. He's so mean. He's so brutal. He's so mean. Now I just wanted Worcestershire on my burger. I wanted Worcestershire on my fries. I wanted Worcestershire, it's unheard of. Could I get it today before I reach my demise? Oh, I wanted Worcestershire on everything, but it wouldn't give it to me cause he didn't like the way that I sing. He heard me on the corner busking and he said, hell no, you can't have my sauce. I don't like you. And I said, damn, man, you are such a brutal hippo. They won't give me a break. Oh, he's a brutal hippo. They won't give me a break. Oh, he's a brutal hippo. They won't give me a break. Oh, he's a brutal hippo. They won't give me a break. Oh, he's so brutal. He never helped me. Oh, he's so brutal. Charge me $2.50. Want me to add sauce to my burger because I didn't get it in my order. Oh, that's a brutal hippo. The hippo's so brutal. Oh, my, so brutal. Wouldn't help me. So brutal.
Bars.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to Resnauv tonight. Break some controllers out there, ladies and gentlemen. Clap some real hand. Whistle, hoot, and holler. Give it up to it. Wake up those neighbors. You guys want another song?
Got the loud read.
Another song? All right, let's do this. Let's do this. All right, we're going over here. I'm going to Jedi K. Jedi K, give me a word.
I don't know. Salmon.
Salmon. Very cool. Very cool. Chippy Night. Chippy Night.
Hello. Apple cider curtains.
What? Apple cider?
Yep.
Man, we're on a food trip today.
Okay. All right. Salmon and apple cider. Wow. Okay. We're doing great, guys. Wise flower. Wise flower.
Is cider spelled with an E or a... Oh, it doesn't matter what it's spelled like.
Argos.
Let's see. Eye drops.
Whatever you think it's spelled like.
Pineapple and eye drops. All right. You get it.
Not like you gotta read my speech bubbles or something.
You get to pick. You can do pineapple. You can do eye drops. You can do other things that I already forgot.
I would say pineapple.
Favorite.
Pineapple, or salmon, and apple cider vinegar. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot going on.
Cider vinegar and salmon. Salmon. Okay.
Wow.
All right. There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to Resnauv. Make some noise. Come on.
Go get him, Tiger.
Oh, hold up.
Salmon, I have an apple. Oh, salmon apple. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna steal that guy's song. Well, we just went fishing at the beach. We were on top of the dock. We were over there in the early morning. It was only 4 o'clock. And what I caught off the dock at the beach, it was weird because they don't usually swim here. I reeled it in and you wouldn't believe it was a huge salmon. Trying not to say it, trying not to give it away. But when I got the salmon, everybody ran up to me and said, that's the weirdest salmon, it don't live in the ocean, but that's an ocean salmon. And I said, oh, I didn't know that they don't swim in the ocean. I thought that they do, because I caught it over here. And they said, that is not a salmon, that's actually a pineapple. That is not a salmon, that's actually a pineapple. They were eating over here by the beach, and then they threw their foot into the ocean. No, they were littering their foot, littering it into the ocean. No, so that is not the salmon. And I looked at it and I said, yeah, you're right, that doesn't look like a salmon at all. It actually looks like a pineapple. That was weird. And they said, yeah, it's not the first time. The other day a guy thought he caught a trout, but when he pulled it up, it was an old man with a beard. He was alive, don't worry, he wasn't hurt. Oh, well, thank you for telling me that he was okay. I was worried that the hook might have went into his skin and made him bleed, and that would have been upsetting. And they said, no, it's alright. They got trauma services really close to the beach, and they came out with bandages and helped him, even though he didn't really need it, cause his skin heals rapidly because he's a superhuman. And I said, dang, you're getting really deep with this story about the old man that came out of the ocean. Is there anything else you wanna tell me? Yes, actually I'm gonna tell you that he oils his beard with apple cider vinegar. It makes it grow really strong. And I said, well, that's not oil, that's vinegar. How could he use it as an oil? They said it's alright because he's superhuman, and he turned the apple cider vinegar into something else that looks like oil. And I said, so is it apple cider oil now? And he said, yeah, it's apple cider oil now. And I said, okay, can I have apple cider oil now? He said, no, we don't have apple cider oil now. I said, where do I get apple cider oil now? They said it doesn't exist, there's no apple cider oil now. I said, well, I want that apple cider oil now. They said, you can't have it, there's no apple cider oil now. They said, please stop saying apple cider oil now. I said, I'll say it one more time, apple cider oil now, 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 apple cider oil now. I just wanted salmon at the beach, but I didn't have that, no. I just wanted the apple cider vinegar to put on my salmon, but that's not the way it turned out. It turned into a long story about an old man with superhuman abilities that turned vinegar into oil. All types of vinegar, not just apple cider vinegar, but also white vinegar and other types that you can find. Some with the mother, it could be the Bragg's kind or the one that doesn't have the mother. That's alright because we're here for each other, and if we want apple cider vinegar oil, we can try to make it, but it doesn't really exist.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to Resnauv! Bring some controllers tonight! Holy crap! I'm sorry about your apple cider vinegar, man. Holy crap. You have it in you for one more?
Breath after that one.
Oh yeah. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all want one more? Only if they want it. Only if they want it, though. I don't know if they want it. You think they want it? I don't know if they want it. I don't know if they want it.
Let's go, Resnauv. Do it.
You got Jake the Snake Roberts in the front there going, woo! Alright, let's do this, ladies and gentlemen.
My voice isn't loud enough.
We're gonna start off with the one, the only PHIA. Give us a word, PHIA, any word.
Crackhead.
Alright. Wow. Sky Pup.
It's too good.
Hey, give me a word, any word.
I got the apple cider.
Avatar. Crackhead State Puff Marshmallow.
Avatar. Very good. I like it. One last one over here from Vapor Trails. Vapor Trails, give us a word.
Oh my god.
How about Taco Bell?
You've got a Crackhead, you've got an Avatar, and you got a Taco Bell. All right.
Sounds like a good story.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise real quick for Resnauv. Come on, give it to him. Give him the energy. Give him that Ethernet energy. Give it up to him, ladies and gentlemen.
Crackhead energy. Oh, this is
You got it. You can do it.
Your tail is just in your face. I know.
We're going, getting tacos late at night. We've been hanging out all night. We just watched the fight. We're going, gotta fill our bellies up. I know something that be good. It's a taco, let's get one. Went to Taco Bell, went inside. Somebody inside said, hey, nice ride. Hopped into my car, tried to drive away, but he didn't know how to drive. What an idiot. There's crackheads at Taco Bell, crackheads at Taco Bell, crackheads at Taco Bell, trying to steal my car. There's crackheads at Taco Bell, crackheads at Taco Bell, crackheads at Taco Bell, trying to steal my car. Well, I had an idea when I got home. Opened up Unity, got in the zone, recreated the experience of Taco Bell. Put it all together, think it went real swell. I was kind of inspired by Eric Cerno. Did whatever I could, you know that, you know the way that it turned out. There was a crackhead and he tried to steal my car at Taco Bell. There's a crackhead at Taco Bell, crackhead at Taco Bell, crackhead at Taco Bell, crackheads 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 at Taco Bell. I had one more thing to add, something that could make you real immersed. Oh yeah. Edit it in, put it right by the parking lot. It was so dang cursed, and a lot of 12-year-olds came in and they all put it on. They were running around, they started singing this song. It's an avatar I made of a crackhead hanging. It's a crackhead hanging at Taco Bell. And now all of the 12-year-olds in VRChat running. I'm sorry.
For TOS purposes and to be in compliance with VRChat's terms of service and stuff, the characters in this song are actually 13-year-olds, and I mistook in their age and stuff. And now these 13-year-olds are all wearing avatars of crackheads at Taco Bell, 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 crackheads at Taco Bell. Crackheads at Taco Bell, 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 I saw a crackhead at Taco Bell, a crackhead at Taco Bell, I saw a crackhead. Taco Bell, I saw a crackhead at 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 Taco Bell, I saw a
years ago inside of Alt Space. I'll tell you, my career's got me all the way to Keenan Thompson and Howie Mandel, but I don't give a shit about them because this is my favorite person in the world. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for bringing FailedToRender here. Give it up to us and give it up to PHIA, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay! Wow, Resnauv, thank you so much. I really loved your song you made out of my word Crackhead and also Taco Bell, my favorite restaurant. Bringing it to VRChat. It was kind of like my three things all together. I like it. But yes, thank you so freaking much to Resnauv, to Render, and of course VRChat Kmart as well for all performing tonight. If we could do one last round of applause for all the amazing performers. I couldn't be more proud and privileged to have had you guys here at the Virtual Reality Show studio. So thank you very much.
Oh, there's a couple.
So from here, we're going to be moving on to our next part of the event, which is really exciting. We're going to be heading over to the live studio where I will be proceeding to do an interview with Kyle Render and Resnauv together to talk a little bit about FailedToRender as a comedy club, what comedy in VR is like, where it's going, where it's come from, and just the experience as a whole. So if you want to go ahead and follow everyone to the live studio, I will catch you all there for the next segment. Alley-oop. Yeah, you guys are live on Twitch. You're famous. You're all live streamers. Look at you. Look at you.
I'm here doing.
Yes, alright, looks like we're all good to go. Amazing! Well, hello again, everybody. Long time no see. I know, it's been a while. Welcome to the live studio where we're going to proceed with our interview. Obviously, tonight we're going to be talking to Render, Kyle Render, and Resnauv, who just performed some amazing improv songs, which blows my mind how they're able to just do it every single time I've seen Resnauv perform, which this is like the third time. They just do it flawlessly. I'm really amazed. So I'm super excited to talk to them and do some interviews and share with you guys what goes on behind the scenes with all of this live comedy stuff. So again, just as before, please remember to be respectful during the interview. If this means muting your microphone, then please do so. Afterwards, we will be doing the after party where our amazing DJ Fantex is going to be performing, and we have our first full live lighting setup for that as well, that our wonderful Mind Tech set up for this to be our first event showcasing it, so there's a lot to look forward to. But without further ado, please give it up and welcome FailedToRender and Resnauv! Yes, you made it. Welcome. All right, come on over. Please take a seat, guys. They're a little raccoon family. I feel slightly out of place.
I think I'm just gonna stand in front of it. I guess.
Yeah, I'll stand in front of it too.
If you toggle behind, there's seats so that you can click on if you'd like.
Ooh.
It doesn't have a marker, so just click on. There you go. There you go. Nice and fancy. You don't have to stand if you don't want to.
Hey. Hello.
Yes, well, welcome. First off, thank you so much for coming and being a part of the Virtual Reality Show studio event tonight. It means a lot to have you guys here. This is our first comedy night that we've ever done. This is the first of its kind. And obviously, Render, you've been doing these VR comedy nights for a very long time, and I know Resnauv, you've been doing comedy as well for quite a while here in VR. So I would love to have you just introduce yourself and what FailedToRender is, just to start us off.
Yeah, my name's Kyle Render. I'm a single dad. During the pandemic, like I said, quarantine kind of shut down our industry, and I lived in Austin, Texas. Had a lot of friends in going into Zoom comedy and stuff, like at home on their 2D screens. I've been in VR for over 10 years. I put out a video game back in 2016, and I just saw an opportunity. I went into Alt Space. I found a guy. His name was Nappy. He said, I got a house party. You want to do comedy at the house party? And I said, absolutely not. And I thought it was a stupid idea. And then 1 month later, I was like, you know what? That's actually, I need to do this. And then I started bringing everybody in, buying headsets for people. And then we started our own little club, and we've been doing it ever since. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you started on AltSpace, but when did you end up moving to doing VR chat nights? Because obviously, AltSpace is not exactly around anymore. So what was that transition? Rip AltSpace.
It was a transition for sure. AltSpace was very special for its time. It was the right place, the right time. It was a platform in between mobile and PC, which is something that we're lacking nowadays. So I decided to put my eggs in two baskets, and I went half in VR chat, and I went half into Horizon Worlds because, you know, Zuckerberg took over AltSpace and yada yada. Anyway, we're all here. We're all having fun. And yeah, we're just 50-50 in VR chat and Horizon now, and they're both completely different because one is completely mobile and one is completely PC. So we're always trying to meet in the middle somewhere. So
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to balance PC and Quest stuff. I know that was a bit of a issue for us tonight because some of the comedians were Questies. I know. I feel so bad. But you know, there's some limitations still with VR and VR chat and just the hardware and software, but it's definitely progressing quite a lot, almost by the month even. I know you're wearing one of you guys said you're wearing a Quest Pro, and I know I have mine that I've set up too. Yeah, Resnauv.
Yeah.
So really exciting progressions regardless. Resnauv, what about you? Could you introduce yourself and kind of how you got started with doing comedy as well as joining FailedToRender?
Yeah, so I actually started in AltSpace as well. They had Reggie Watts performing out there, and I've been a fan of him for so long. And it was like my birthday, right around my birthday time, and he was performing, and I got to go on stage with him and stuff. So right after that, I was like, yo, I've been wanting to do this forever. I'm gonna get a loop station. So I did it. I got a loop station, and then I started doing the music thing, you know, that you've seen me do here, I started performing then because I was with this improv group, and I performed with that improv group for like years, and then I met Kyle, and you know, and he invited me out to go do his show and stuff, and then what is it, like 3 years now or something? I've been performing with FailedToRender, and but I've always been in VR chat and AltSpace at the same time, so I've been performing with this improv group, which isn't around anymore, so I don't know if he's actually cool with me like calling it out or whatever. But it's my friend Gobblocks was running it, and he really pushed me a lot to like keep doing this and performing in front of people and stuff. And then you know, after a while I met Kyle, and then I was just performing at both at the same time. And yeah, it's been years now, and you know, at the history with AltSpace runs deep between us here, so like I was pretty hurt when it went away because I was there since like 2017 too, so running that and VR chat side by side, so yeah.
What do you think, AltSpace or VR chat after spending time in either?
Well, I always preferred VR chat because I get to be whatever I want to be. So, you know, like I loved AltSpace because it's where I started, and I ran like a lot of events there and stuff because they had like a really good event system, which is what VR chat didn't really have unless you built it up yourself. Like, you guys have done a really amazing job here, you know. But you know, like so with AltSpace, I never could like, well, I didn't want to give it up because a lot of my friends preferred to be there, but you know, I always ran them side by side. I just always preferred VR chat because I feel more of like an identity here, that like I'm actually representing myself the best I can instead of being like kind of like a cardboard cutout. You get to be this and that's it, like Avatar. Yeah.
Yeah, most certainly. I think you both have your fun little raccoon vibe going on. Even seeing you run across the stage behind Resnauv doing the rainbow raccoon emotes.
His fault. It's his fault. I blame this man.
Yeah. See, Kyle, like I think he says brother to people and stuff, right? So I mean, at some point he said, "Hey, how you doing, brother?" And I was thinking, brother, okay. So I was thinking he should be a raccoon. Yeah, so I said, hey, Kyle, you should be a
Yes.
raccoon, man. That would be cool as heck. Like, you being a raccoon up there. That'd be a perfect, like, VRChat identity for you. And he did it. He actually did it. He got in touch with the guy who made the base, Alex Lotor. He's freaking awesome. And made him, made him a raccoon for himself, so.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
only
Yeah,
took a
you
couple
guys
months to
rock
turn
it.
into a furry.
All it takes is a little bit, a few months in VR, and then before you know it, you're gone. Furry forever.
Goodbye.
Well, you guys fit right in. Our studio manager, Gavitt, being a raccoon. We've got some crazy raccoon representation up in here, so I'm all for it. The
Yeah.
trash bins are outside and to the left, just in case you guys need
Oh, good.
to. So,
Oh, we'll be
so
there.
help finding them afterwards. But I would love to hear a little bit more. I think you specifically said you were hoping to share kind of the in-depth background of FailedToRender and how you guys got started. And I assume that there's probably a long story there after doing it for so many years at this point. So would you be willing to share with us kind of what your journey has been like?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It happened during quarantine, like I said. But then once the world started opening up and venues were kind of filling in halfway, we decided to chase that medium, and we started putting VRChat and AltSpace on the walls behind the venues. And we would go in there with headsets, and we started having these hybrid shows where on the wall you could see the avatar in real life. It's a comedian wearing a headset. We were featured in the Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, CNET. All these amazing articles came out, and we're just taking that as a business model that there's just such a large amount of people at home for various reasons. Like mine is I'm a single dad, so I don't get out very often. And if I was to get out, then I'd be doing open mic comedy, which I'm not really, I don't want to do that. Okay. I'm comfortable in here now, but it's like, why? There's a whole separation. There's people that don't want to go outside. They're younger, they're older, everything in between. And I want to combine those audience members because this is comedy too, right? And some people don't really understand it because I just think of it like radio, TV, streaming, VR. Obviously, we all know right here that it's going to be the next big thing, and then it's going to be AR, and then your glasses and your rings and the phones are going away and all that. We'll get there. Don't rush it. These are the good old days. They already are.
No kidding.
They already are the good old days. And I can tell you that from growing my whole brand in AltSpace for 3 years and them just yanking it away because it was a giant corporation, right? These are the early days. Don't get comfortable. It's going to change every day, but we have to maintain who we are and bring what we're good at into VR and AR for it to thrive in the future. And I think that we're all here doing that right now.
Absolutely. I agree hardcore. I think we are at a really interesting stage, kind of the baby years of VR. Still, like you said, this is the good old days. They're happening now. And it's kind of a fulfilling feeling to be like, wow, you know, FailedToRender, the virtual reality show, and the people running their own clubs and their own events, and they're making content and making people laugh, or, you know, coming and just experiencing things and supporting them in any way. Everybody here are the ones that gets to have the choice and have the say and determine where the future is going. So it's really cool to have that opportunity for all of us to be here and say, like, okay, what do we want the future to be? Because we're setting the example for everybody who comes after. So I think that's a really brilliant way of putting it.
Thank you.
That's amazing. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Resnauv, I'm curious. When you're doing your performance up there, you're doing this like awesome looping thing, and I think most people probably have not witnessed anybody in VR doing something like that before. We've had a few performers here before who are musicians who do some looping and whatnot, but as far as using it for straight comedy in the way that you do, which you do it amazingly, by the way, what is that like? What is that process? How do you get that to work in VR?
Well, I mean, I guess the same way that anybody else hooks up their equipment, I do it the same way. I have a hardware looper, and I just run that into an interface. I have like a effects thing I use. That's why I do some weird voice stuff and run that into it. And then from there, I just get a lot of anxiety about what words Kyle is going to accept from the audience, and I think some yeah. like so I don't just gotta worry about what the audience says. I gotta worry if Kyle's gonna pick it and be like, yeah, that's the one, and then I gotta go with it, because if I don't go with it, how can I prove to you it's improv if like I'm picking and choosing which word to use, you know what I mean? So yeah, so definitely I get a lot of anxiety, and I react to it, and people think that I'm kidding when I'm like, oh man, oh what the heck, like when I get the words, it's all real. I am really nervous, and then it goes into the brain, and then it comes out the mouth. I don't know.
Well, I can tell. It seems like you get into like a crazy trance where you're almost like not even thinking about it. Like the story is coming out of you.
Oh, you're right.
Like, you were just letting it, guiding it to become what it becomes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like I try to keep my head as clear as possible before I go up and go up and perform and stuff, and I think that helps me perform without getting too nervous, actually, because like Kyle was talking about this mixed reality, how he's done like these mixed reality events. There's been like two, maybe three events that I've done with him that are in front of the crowd in alt space and a live crowd, which has been yeah, it was crazy because somebody sent me a video of it afterwards, and it's like I'm on the screen performing for like actual people at a bar. I'm like, yo, that's weird. And and then Tommy Simbazo told me all the vulgar stuff I was saying was heard for like 4 blocks because it was being performed outside and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, yeah. So I definitely keeping the blank slate helps a lot with the improv and managing the nervousness. Just letting whatever comes to mind come out and stuff, and yeah, it's I do go into a trance. You are absolutely correct, and it's helped me through a lot of stuff.
I love it. Dude, would you say what okay, so what is the experience doing a comedy skit IRL? And this is a question for both of you. Doing it with your physical body to an IRL audience versus this whole VR experience, being up on the stage in front of a bunch of anime girls and furries. Is it what is the feeling and the difference between that?
Machine.
I can't do this in real life. I look like I'm weird when I'm on stage, so I always have to grab the mic, and I have to grab the stand, and I have to have my controllers when I'm on a real stage. It's like it's almost a crutch. If I'm on a real stage, I have to have the mic stand here. I have to have the microphone in my hand, and I have to touch both because I feel like they're my controllers when I'm doing real life comedy. So you'll probably see that. It's obviously in here it's just a few buttons to move around. I've always personally, I think that the standards I set for FailedToRender were so high, and that's why my brand is so good, is because I didn't have any PC comics on a monitor. I made sure the comics were inside of headsets, and I made sure they were standing up. Like, how hard is it, guys? So I stand during all of my comedy sets. I stand. I have the room tracking. I never sit down. You have some comics that don't do that, but that's fine. But I really get into it. I mean, like this, I'm here. You're here. We're all here. So you might as well stand up and do your damn job. So
yeah, I gotta get immersed. Gotta get the immersion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just I've only ever been performing in VR. The only IRL audiences I performed for were the ones through FailedToRender's mixed reality shows. So I don't really have anything to compare
man
it
in
to.
real life.
Yeah, that's what we need next. TVRS Studio IRL event. We bring you guys up, and then the people in VR watch you guys in VR instead of vice versa. It's some fun stuff
let's
up there.
go.
Yeah. You got some good ideas.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a cough.
Yeah, like the one
Nice.
event that has the
Definitely.
window. Now, like that's pretty cool. I saw my friend was making like a 3D window too. So that is that is something. Yeah.
So when
that is
so
a good
we
direction it
we
could go.
started working with this company called Proto Hologram, and it's backed by Howie Mandel. I brought Howie Mandel into the FailedToRender Comedy Club. It was an amazing time, and then we worked with Keenan Thompson to get Keenan Thompson on the road as a hologram. But in between, we would sprinkle in avatar performances as holograms. So that was a really cool experience and
love
really
it.
good exposure. So we could be at home and be ourselves in VR. And then he was a hologram in Las Vegas to a crowd of like 150 people. And he was like a 3D alt space cartoon. So we're going to start experimenting with VRChat and Meta Horizon to bring that to the proto hologram too. So
Totally. Well, I love that you guys really care about broadening the horizon of what you guys are doing and looking at virtual reality and comedy, and not only just saying like, oh, how can I make a VR comedy club in alt space, but then looking and being like, okay, how can we do it in VR chat and Meta Horizons, and how could we incorporate this into IRL venues and bring everything together? I think that's a really powerful mindset that not necessarily so many people are really thinking about. It's very hyper focused on just the VR aspect, which is still absolutely brilliant and amazing. But I think there's something really special there when it comes to mixed reality and the windows or like portal events where, you can be, in virtual reality or IRL and still have those, quality interactions. It's a really special thing. So mad props to both of you for participating in that and leading it.
Oh, Eric Cerno's here.
Oh,
thank
portals
you.
are
And
so
ladies and
funny.
gentlemen, give it up to FIA for this amazing place and these beautiful people and all of you. It's all awesome. Truly. This place is amazing. Truly.
Thank you. Well, it's only
Yeah.
amazing
Oh,
having it because of the people who come here and fill it up. It's a really special honor for me because there's nothing that excites me more than seeing people like you guys who are here doing something really fun and new, and all the other previous performers and showcases that we've had. There's just so much cool stuff in here, and I love it, and I just want to show it to the whole world, which I think all of us do. And there's nothing I love more. But yeah, really, really cool stuff. As far as that kind of goes, I would love to hear what are your guys's, like, what do you predict the future will be, either with just VR technology and mixed reality as a whole, or kind of specifically when it comes to what you're doing with FailedToRender and comedy clubs and whatnot?
I mean, I feel like real life venues have to be tied to the virtual realm in some ways in the future. I envision like maybe mirrors into VR that could just be kind of placed around the bar. You go to your friend's house, you're wearing your glasses, you connect to the Wi-Fi. Obviously, all of his stuff comes up on the walls because you have it previously placed there. But really thinking about the venue aspect of it, I mean, it's my dream, and what I'm going for if I find an investor is I want to make a hybrid comedy club where I can bring in anybody from anywhere, from home directly to my club without shipping them on a plane. And then they can appear as a hologram as themselves, or they can come in as a VR avatar. And then it's kind of, it'll be like a gaming lounge, comedy club, hybrid VR center. What do you think? You want to give me money, huh? Give me money!
Come on, investors! Where are my investors at?
I'll take your Rendo and Joe. Here you go.
Make sure you get the trash cans out before anything else.
Space
There might be
Jam
some issues.
So what about you,
got all
Resnauv? What about the
investor
future of
emojis there.
music? The future of music and DJing, right?
Yes, let's hear it.
Well, I really just want to see everything get to where it's like glasses. We're just wearing glasses and you can see everything clearly and stuff. That way I can see all my equipment, because I think unless some really crazy technology comes out where screens are popping up buttons and pads and piano keys and stuff, I'm probably always gonna want to be touching hardware, not doing all these gestures and stuff like the Vision Pro's got. Although I'm sure maybe that's amazing on the Vision Pro. I don't know, but like I don't know. I feel like I'm always gonna have to be twisting knobs and hitting faders and stuff like that. Even though I've seen a lot of people like do like Tribe, that Tribe XR thing, and they're like actually DJing and VR and stuff, and that's like their main thing. Yeah, that's really blown my mind. But like I want to see that hybrid club with mixed reality where there's just everybody's got to be wearing glasses or they got it built into their contacts or something, and like I'm just I'm seeing real people and I'm just standing there like next to Kyle or next to anybody out there in the audience, and we're just like all sharing the same space, like it's a replica of the space in VR and mixed reality and stuff. Well,
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see, and plus it would make it really easy for me to be able to see all my stuff instead of always looking down through the opening.
Yes.
If it's the glasses, I'll be able to look right at it and not always be like, oh.
Yeah, I know. I have the same thing where my head and I'll be like streaming and stuff, and I'll have my head up because I'm like always looking at the things around me, and people are like, move your head down, I can't see what you're doing. And I'm like, oh, sorry.
At least with the Quest Pro, which I got it mainly because I wanted face tracking, but like it being like it's like all open around here has been really, really good for me, like being able to see everything a lot better, because before that, and this is like for years, because like how many years I've been performing with you now, and I was performing before that too, like I'm just looking through like the tiny like nose gap on my index, or and just looking at all my stuff, trying to like, oh man, is that the button? Oh no, so sometimes when it sounds like I dropped, sometimes before when it sounds like I dropped out like for effect, oh man, I'm giving away a secret, like I'm like. And I'm like waiting, and I'm like I don't know if people think that's for effect. It's because I'm like, oh man, where's that button again? Oh, there it is.
That's so funny. It definitely feels like it's for effect. Even if it's totally unintentional, it's like perfect. It adds that suspense. I would have never guessed.
Sometimes it's on purpose, but sometimes I'm definitely playing it off like it is.
Well, I mean, on that same note, I'm curious, are there any specific other, like, difficulties or challenges, whether it's about the technology part or just in the whole organization of trying to bring, like, a comedy club together? I'm sure that there's a lot of unexpected things that you've encountered with that.
Oh my goodness, comedians are the laziest people in the world, and every comic will agree with me when I say that, okay? Like, first of all, it's really hard to find someone that's funny. Just in general, okay? And then I have to find someone that's funny with a headset under $500. That's really hard. And then I have to find girls that are really funny in headsets. That's almost 5% now. And then the 2% of trying to find someone funny with a PC rig. It's me and this boy right here. Like, this is my boy. This, ride or die,
carrying
PC
the whole
life.
Industry, yes.
But like, that's been the hardest thing with comedians is, we don't have a lot of money. It's not a big paying industry, but at the same time in VR, guess what? It has the most retention compared to most things. It's higher than video games. I have an average attention span of 45 minutes inside my club of somebody sitting there watching, engaging, and having a great time and coming back every night. And that's not something that every video game can do because it's a social experience, and I treat the club as a real brick and mortar experience. But back to the question really is like the entry point of comedians, a lot of them that like to do this are older. They don't get out a lot anymore. And a lot of them are brand new. Like, shout out to my daughter, Lyra Render. She does comedy in here now.
Woo!
And she's been doing comedy at the open mics at Kmart and at FailedToRender. And I'm teaching my 10-year-old daughter how to get stage presence in here. Kmart. And then I took her downtown in Austin, Texas,
beautiful.
And she killed it.
I love it.
And she killed it.
Wow.
So it's so you have lots of different scenarios.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
okay,
she's
yeah,
awesome.
bright future. Starting in VR is a great way, like you said, to build that stage presence. Beautiful.
Absolutely. I told her that she can create her own comedy club in Rec Room, and I'll support her there.
Oh, young entrepreneur. Let's go.
That's right. That's right. Your daddy's got the other ones covered. You take Rec Room, okay? I love you. Good night.
You take Rec Room. There you go. You're hitting all the... See, that's where the money's coming, though. You're gonna be paying for the retirement. You know what you're doing. You're setting it up.
Oh man.
Cool, Resnauv. Any thoughts on your end too?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got so lost in the Rec Room thing. What was the original?
Oh, I know. Just any unexpected challenges or difficulties?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes I have to deal with driver issues, like you know, like it's pretty much just your regular like dealing with Windows and dealing with Oculus or Index.
I know
because I have an Index too, and not an Index 2. I have an Index also, and I didn't need to clarify that.
Whoa, giving away the NDAs.
That's right. I'm ahead of you guys this time.
The Index 2.
Got your eyes, bro.
I didn't need to clarify that. Okay, anyway. Anyway, the index, like, so I didn't start using Oculus because of this, but the index, like, I don't know if anybody, clearly everybody who has an index here has probably replaced their cable 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9
absolutely.
times, you know, had to deal with that. Had to deal with my controllers going down, so like the whole set, I'm just holding my left joystick so that because it wants to rotate right, so I'm just holding it the whole time so I stay faced forward. You know, I got to deal with that as like a technical difficulty. And then sometimes my drivers mess up, and like I get it fixed like maybe 5 seconds before it's time for me to perform or whatever. Or actually, I remember one time you had to hold out for me for a little bit and just keep doing some stand-up, you know, while I sorted stuff out. That's, thank goodness, you know, which I think Kyle has to do that a lot for a lot of people, like waiting on them and then just filling in their time until they, because they always have technical difficulties that they're looking for someone on the side to get fixed. And
you
like,
think it's
yeah,
you think it's hard for a comedian to drive to a bar? Oh my God, getting a comedian in a headset, and then my buddy Justin has to provide customer service, right? And like, oh my God, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, guys. So shout out to everybody already in here and doing the hard work. I'm sure you're gonna be fixing your mom's printer tonight. So.
Oh yeah, we've all been there. It's just a room full of like that like tech person in the family. They're just the ones who end up in VR.
Yep.
Yeah, what the fuck is a printer?
Amazing. Well, that's pretty much bringing us up to the end of our time here. So, are there any other last thoughts or feelings or anything you want to share with everybody today?
I mean, I guess follow your dreams, right? What else can we say after I've been doing this for 3 years and never giving up? It's a long road. Again, we're very early to VR, so we all have a head start here. So build what you want to build. Learn Unity, learn Horizon world building, learn just things that'll take you into the future, because if you don't, AI is going to take over. Okay, I love you. Good night.
It's like, AI's gonna take over. Bye.
Do your homework.
See, half the people in here are like, woo, and the other ones are like, ah.
I didn't come in here to get a job. Follow your dreams.
Yeah.
What about you, Resnauv?
Yeah, I have something. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess this just came to mind. You know, I didn't really have anything specific, but something came to mind, which I think, since we're talking about like mixed reality and bringing, you know, IRL stuff into VR, I've seen, you know, a lot of people have brought IRL stuff into VR, like you know, stand-up comedy, improv, pole dancing, break dancing, and stuff. I just want to add, and I've seen some people do this. Always, it's really awesome to bring stuff from IRL into VR, but don't be afraid to push it even further because it is VR. Like I saw somebody dancing at one of the conventions, and so they're already dancing in VR, which is already like taking something really awesome from IRL out into VR. But they started dancing, and while they were dancing, they started floating around the room, and like really filling up literally the entire stage area with their dance and stuff. And I think if I think like a lot more people should be doing that, like taking like this really cool stuff from IRL, but really taking advantage of the technology and just pushing it like even further, which I want to get on that myself. Clearly I'm not doing that, but I want to get on that myself too, and see what I can start doing there. But remember it's VR and take full advantage of it. So yeah, I guess that's what I got.
Yeah, well, I think you're off to an amazing start with all the performances that you've done, and Render, of course, you too, with all of your projects and performances. It's really fun getting to talk to you guys and watch you perform, and I think everybody up here can say the same thing. So, all right, before we wrap up, give us the plugs. Where can everybody find you?
The plugs. It's very easy. It's just FailedToRender.com. We have shows every single night of the week in VRChat and Meta Horizons. And I have a Patreon and a Discord, but you can find all of it just at FailedToRender.com. Thank you so much for your support.
And I'm Resnauv. It's Resnauv, pretty much anywhere. I'm pretty active saying dumb stuff on Twitter, so that's a thing. I got a YouTube channel. I got a couple YouTube channels.
Converse.
I got a couple YouTube channels. I got a Twitch channel, and same name everywhere. So yeah.
Fantastic. Well, everybody, give it up one last time for FailedToRender and Resnauv for a wonderful interview. Thank you so much, guys.
And thank you, Cider. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's really my pleasure. Well, with that, I will give our nice final little send-off here. I want to say thank you so much once again for everybody who's been here and supporting this event. If you're in the audience or if you were one of our lovely performers, I know we got the Kmart and community or Projekt Community people. And of course, I wanted to give a huge shout out and thanks to all of our staff. They do such an amazing job, and I've been so impressed by how smooth our events have been going. We've been doing the studio for almost a year now. We're getting close on it, and I am just amazed every single time how beautiful it works. So thank you. If we could give a round of applause to all the staff as well for making this happen, that would be I usually in the theater they're like, whoa! But yes, check out FailedToRender. Of course, go check out the rest of the Projekt Community events that are going on all through tomorrow as well. Kmart, shout out to them. Go shop at Kmart and buy some virtual PlayStations or IRL toolboxes, depending on what floats your boat. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and move over to doing our after party. We're going to be having, like I said, Fantex DJing for us, and we have Mindtex live lighting system. So this is going to be a really, really crazy fun experience. Of course, everything will be streamed on Twitch as well if you just want to listen and party in your bedroom. So thank you all, and I will see you in the club.